Hi everyone, today we will be going over the different ways that you can host your chatbot. So first and foremost, we just have simply copying the chatbot URL. This is great for if you want users to interact with your chatbot over through email or through a text message, or even through a paid advertisement. But for this example, we can just add the link to a button on our example Google site here, and that button will link to that URL that we just pasted in there. So on to the next one. We then have the option to get the HTML. This is going to add a floating little button that stays in the bottom corner of your website that then pops the chatbot up when the user presses it. So we're going to copy this code and go head back to our Google site. And the way that this works in Google Sites is we're going to do a full page embed. So we'll call this one chatbot. And we're simply just going to paste the code that we copied. And then as you can see, we have the ask a question button at the bottom. That's because that's our start button label for this project. So when we preview this site here, as you can see, it pops up in the bottom. And when it's pressed, it pops up the chatbot. Now the sizing of this can be changed in the HTML. I can actually show you how to do that. So let's say, for example, you wanted to make your button different size. So the default is 150 by 30, but if you wanted to make that smaller, bigger, wider, you could do that by just changing these values here. And when it comes to the iframe, it's set at so based on the width of your page. So if your screen width is greater than 600 pixels, then it's going to be a width of 50 and a height of 90. But let's say I wanted to make the width 30 and I wanted to make the height 70. Simply hit next, hit save, and then we can kind of preview how that looks again. So it comes up a little bit smaller this time. So you can configure that to your liking. And finally, our last option is an iframe snippet, and I'll show you how this looks on our Google site here. So once again, we're going to copy the code. We'll head back to our Google site, and we're just going to embed this like this. So the difference is with the iframe code here, you can actually just embed it just like this, so there's no button that needs to be triggered. This is very popular for a contact page, so then your users can just interact with your form just like that. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on our contact page. In the meantime, happy building.